Do you want to learn to track your levels of awareness and consciousness so that you're constantly able to work on your personal development and self growth? If that's something that you'll truly like to learn, I have something very interesting and exciting to share. So stay tuned in. This is Dr. Gopika Kumar, your communication and your mindset coach. Let's get started with this right away. So have you ever realized that our levels of consciousness many a times get lower in a lot of different spheres of our life? And actually, those spheres of our life are extremely important to us. So I'm going to first ask you to note down and make a note of 6 specific spheres of our life. So grab a pen and paper first of all. I'm going to give you a quick few seconds to do that because this is going to be an interesting exercise, but only when you write that down. Okay? Okay, so if you have your pen and paper now write down the 6 different areas of life that we're going to be focusing our energy so that we can increase our levels of consciousness, which means that if I can increase my awareness in that specific area of my life, with my alertness, with my awareness, I'll be able to bear and get more results out of it. That's what it just simply means. So the very first area will always be something that's of most interest to most of us, which is business. That how do we make sure that we are able to constantly see that growth because of increasing our level of awareness and consciousness in our sphere of business. It's all right if you're not into a business, even if you're a professional, but you've always had something which is more of your passion income, something that you really love to do. You can also mention the same as well. You can put that down here. The second area I want you to put that down as career. That how do I increase my levels of awareness here, Gopika, so that I can see much more effective results and productive results for myself, over the coming years. Career, right? And I want to increase my levels of consciousness here. Very interesting it's going to be, right? Now the third area that I want you to put it down is going to be something that we all talk about at all times, which is money. So we all talk about we want to get more money, we want to make more money, we want to make sure that we're able to go on higher salaries, higher packets. Of course, to be able to increase that, we first need to learn to increase our levels of consciousness. So put the third area down as money. Now take down the fourth and of course indeed as important an area as well, which is health. Put that down, that how you'd like to take up your health as your prime concern, as we say health as well, that how you'd like to take that as a prime concern so that you're constantly and consciously being able to give it the due attention that it really requires from you, right? So put that down for yourself as well as your fourth area. The fifth area that we're going to talk about here is going to be on relationships. So having said that, relationships in your family, with your spouse, with your parents, with your kids, with your friends outside the house, with your colleagues, relationships. How do you make sure that you're being able to maintain those cordial, happy relationships which keeps your life force going really, really high at all times? I mean, that's like the lifeblood of giving you the energy. So we learn to do that as well. And the sixth area that we're going to highlight here is going to be the area of your own self-growth. So how to constantly make sure that my levels of awareness in my personal growth, are they high enough or not? If not, then we need to bring them to a level of keeping them at a high level. Now you have all these 6 areas, put them down across for yourself clearly. And what we're going to do here is, if you've been able to put them down clearly one after another, I'm going to highlight those areas through which you'll be able to monitor that how do you maintain that progress and see that am I increasing my levels of consciousness or not. So here are a series of few steps that we need to follow. And in all of these spheres of life, irrespective whichever one I'm talking about, I need to follow these series of steps to make sure that my consciousness levels are at all-time high. Okay, so here are all the steps, and I want you to make a note of the very first one. So for you to increase your levels of consciousness, here is the first thing that we need to do. What is your goal setting and visualization? So goal setting and visualization, the first area, that's the first step that you need to take, which means what is my goal for my business? What is my goal for career? What is my goal for money, for relationships, for self-growth? What is your goal? Only when you'd be able to understand and clearly put it down on a piece of paper, would you be able to increase your levels of working towards it with as much passion as you'd really like to? That's your very first step of increasing and keeping up that progress pattern for yourself. The second in these steps is going to be on journaling activity. Now, journaling activity has to be done on a regular basis. So, as we say that you could take a holiday, but your journaling activity for seeing that whether you're making a progress in reaching your money goals, whether you're making a progress in reaching your relationship goals, putting it down on a journal and self-declaring that how far have I come when I started. Putting it down on a regular day-to-day basis is something that you'd always want to do. And it's helped me through and through. I started this off very recently, and I literally refer to this as a life book. That you're able to see the changes in all these spheres only when you put them down on paper, and you're able to see where is it that you'd like to reach for yourself as well. The third most important thing to follow here, so that you're able to see that whether you're achieving your target set for yourself or not. So the third in these key steps comes across as affirmations. So my affirmation can be like a goal setting. My goal setting says that I'm going to be achieving for myself and making a 1 crore a year, if that is something which is my goal setting. And at the same time, I'm using my affirmations, and my affirmation is saying that I will make it possible and I will be working towards it. So I'm putting it down in my journal, and in my journal, I'm using my language of using the affirmations. See, all that we are really trying to do here is to increase my level of awareness, that what are my targets and what do I want to achieve. And through all these series of steps, if I'm able to increase my levels of consciousness, then the action steps that you're going to be taking thereby, of course, is going to be able to help you get the results that you would want to, even if not as much as expected, but at least will push you towards the same direction as well. The fourth in this important step here is the mindfulness and meditation. Now, all of these need to be followed regularly so that you're able to keep a complete check in all these 6 important spheres of life. So giving yourself some space and time to think that what do I want out of my career? What do I want out of my self-growth? What do I want to create out of my space of business? Putting them down is how it's going to bring you out that clarity as well, and giving yourself that few moments to think about it on a regular basis. The next step here is going to be on the 5th, which is guided meditation. And I'm going to really talk about this here because there is an entire, your video-based source, which we refer to as your own YouTube, where you'll be able to find a lot of guided meditations for working in all these 6 spheres. So I want you to work towards them by listening to them. It could be a 10-minute guided meditation for creating success in business, a 10-minute guided meditation for career, a 10-minute guided meditation for self-growth, a 10-minute guided meditation for manifesting the right relationships, a 10-minute guided meditation towards this. The more you're able to get yourself more aware, more conscious on what you'd like to achieve, the easier it's going to be for you to really achieve your goal. The consciousness level has to be at an all-time high. And the 6th and the most important step here is to regularly review and assess. In all the top 6 steps that I have already enlisted them out for you, just talks about that how am I increasing my levels of consciousness? How am I increasing my levels of, am I aware at this moment? Where am I standing at my junction of my career? So today, if I was to give you, my own, specific example of taking up a situation of career, if I wanted to move my trajectory from a life coach to a communication coach, that's a goal setting that I've been able to do. I've been able to put that down onto a journal, create that more of a self-affirmation. Post the self-affirmation. When you're thinking about it, you're giving it some mindfulness, you're meditating about it. You're having a guided meditation for moving yourself towards the goal of becoming a communication and a mindset coach. So when your goals are clear and your consciousness levels are going to rise up, you'll see yourself being able to achieve what you want to achieve. This session is all about being able to reach to your desired state where you are currently. So before we retire, I want you to completely put down what is your current state right now for all these 6 spheres. So all you need to do here is, in your current state, take up a scale of 1 to 10 and see that how far you feel that you have already been able to achieve, and you'll be able to answer that. So if it's relationship or money or career, and you can put that down as a score on about 1 to 10. And a desired state is that, of course, it's going to be much higher on a scale of 8, 9 and 10. A desired state is more like where you are moving with the flow, where you're being able to meet way above your expectations. When you're able to reach your desired state by increasing your levels of consciousness, you'll be much closer to achieving your results thereby. I hope that this entire tracker is going to help you to get closer to what you want to achieve in all these 6 spheres. Do remember to share all your comments and feedback with us in this entire 21-day duration and journey of creating that emotional mastery for high self-esteem. Do not forget to watch the rest of the video in this entire series. It's going to really help you to gain a complete control on your emotional mastery thereby. For the moment, this is Dr. Gopika Kumar signing off.